All right, today's project, I'm going to reassemble these Mikini carbs, however you want to pronounce it. I have an Arctic Cat Wildcat 700. The sled itself is a 91 that they came out of. So I'm just going to go ahead and reassemble these. I got everything laid out here. The new needle valves are new, slightly used. I had them in another carb and I pulled them out so I could reuse them in these. We got the needles there. Everything's apart, everything's clean. It's ready to go back together. A couple of wrenches you're gonna need. I got a 17 millimeter, a 9 millimeter, and a 6 millimeter. And see if I can't show you the jets on these. If I can get close enough. These ones are a 380. And I don't know if I'll be able to get in on these. But they say 050, which makes sense because here's the options for a secondary or whatever you want to call that jet on there, either a 40 or a 50. So I'm gonna go ahead and reassemble this. It shouldn't take too long. I think I have everything I need here. They're just cleaned up fairly well. These ones are in pretty decent shape. There's hardly any wear on the slides. The slides themselves are in really good shape. Little bit of wear on the bottom. Not enough to worry about. So go ahead and throw this together, get you guys set up on the tripod, and see if you can follow along with me. Try that and see how it works. See if I can get in here so you can see what I'm doing. I guess it really doesn't matter where I start because all this has got to go back in. So I guess I'm going to start and grab a secondary jet. Slip it in there. And just tighten it down until it's snug. I don't want to over tighten these, then you can't get them back out when you need to. I'm just making sure it's tight. I want it in the right position. And grab. Let's put this jet back on right away. And then that's where our 6 millimeter wrench comes in. Just tighten her up a little bit. And we're getting there. Grab one of our plates. The plate goes in here. It only goes on one way and it sits down like that. Pull that off. These jets. This is the needle valve. I got 2 of these gaskets. One goes on each side of the plate. Just want to make sure that gasket's sitting where it should be. Now I just need to get it started. And then that jet is a 9mm wrench, not jet, needle valve. It's kind of goofy with the ring on there. Come on, I know I did it once before. Almost. That retainer ring for the needle kind of gets in the way. Could pop it off and make life a little bit easier. Don't lose that. Don't lose your needle valve. It's just a real fine little clip that holds the needle in. I just want to snug that up. Snap my clip back on. It just prevents the needle valve from falling out. Then from there, grab this little piece that the floats grab when it goes up and down, and that puts pressure on the needle valve. And then these are just the pin that holds it in. Look and see which one of these is burled up from my pliers, which would be that side, because I kind of want to put it in the same way it was in. And then it goes in almost all the way. You can grab a pliers and squeeze this shut, or else I just have a channel locks and I just give it a little love tap. Not quite all the way. And see how it's set in there, and it's not going to come out. Then we're getting pretty much all together. Grab my plug for the bottom of the bowl. Got my gasket. Tighten that up with 17mm. Again, I don't want to over tighten anything. This is pretty well cleaned out. A little bit of residue from cleaning it out still in there, but it's nothing to worry about. It's nice and clean. So we got that in. We're going to set our floats in. They tell you which way they go up, which way is up on them, so. They go in, you want to make sure these slide nice and free with no obstructions. And then I think we have everything in here. And then when I put this back together, I'll obviously tip it down. You want to line this hole up right here with this other jet. Go ahead and set your gasket down in there. And I always forget where I want to put these little tabs that hold the extra lines over there. I think I always put them kitty corner. Hopefully I get the right corners. I'll go ahead and tighten them down until they're snug. Go around and do that on all four corners. And then once they're on there, I'll come back and jump from side to side and give them that extra quarter turn just to snug them up. And everything should be together in there. The floats are in, the needle valve's in, that plate. So then we should just have to go ahead and set some of these jets in. Got this little guy. We'll go right there. I'll tighten them in all the way until it bottoms out. And then I usually count, you know, half a turn, one turn, and then that'll be my base. And then I can adjust it from there. The same with your slide set screw. It doesn't go there. It goes over here. Goes over here. I'm not thinking right this morning. And then the same as the air screw, I'll tighten this one all the way down. Back it off half, back it off one. Gives me a starting point. We'll go 1.5. so it gives us a good base. And what else do we got? We got these black little caps that go to right there. They really don't do much for us, so let's plug those off. Here's our choke port. Pretty much getting to the point where this is all together. I went ahead and got my hoses on there. I just run them kitty corner to where this one, instead of going in this clip, I run it across and down into the clip into the right rear. Same with this one. I run it across the front to the left front. And that's pretty much it. The carb's pretty much together. And at this point, I can go ahead and assemble my slider. The needle goes in first. You can see I'm in the second clip from the top. There's 4 clips in these needles. And then your little washer, one goes under the clip and one goes above the clip. It sets down in there like so. Grab your, whatever you want to call this piece. It'll go in and lock your needle into place. Just grab your screw. And get it in there and tighten her up. So it's snug, the needle's in there. There's going to be a little bit of wiggle room. And see how that sets in there. And then now, where are these guys? When you hook it into the carb, your cable's going to set in there. The cable is going to go through the tab. The tab is going to set on top. You're going to have a spring. You're going to have your gasket, and then you're going to have your top. I don't know if I really need to show you how to do that. Because if I do that, then I'm just going to have to take it all apart to put it back together. You know what I mean? But that goes in there. And see, the slide only goes in one way. You have your stop or whatever you want to call it on that side that it slips into. What am I doing? Well, obviously, that's not going to set in there until you have your needle in the exactly right spot. And that's going to set down a little further. You should be able to turn this until it drops. And you can adjust your slide set screw if you want to. I don't think there's really any point that at this time until it's back in the machine. A spring, Your top piece should have a gasket in it. And this is how it should all go. I'm not going to tighten that down because I'm going to take this back apart to get my throttle cable in there, obviously, when I put it in the sled. But I just wanted to assemble that to show you, you know, it's gasket, spring, one of these little doohickeys, this, the clip, my clip position, and that is one 44 millimeter Mikini's, however you want to say it, Carb belt. These guys look really good. Hopefully I don't have any issues with them. They should just go in, get them in sync, and that should be it. I thought this was a good little video because when you put it together, you don't want to miss any of the steps or any of the little pieces. I know sometimes questions come up, so that's going to wrap it up for this video. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll catch you on the next one.